overweight, obesity, and the hypothalamus. I decided to record a few videos to show you what I'm going to be teaching about in my upcoming overweight or weight loss, weight management seminar. So let's get started. Most people tend to crave either salty food, pizzas, or sweet food, ice cream, chocolate, and then starve themselves to lose the weight they have gained. There is a different way. First, let's talk about corporations. So it's not some kind of conspiracy theory, it's purely economic. They suppress truthful information relating to natural, inexpensive products that cure or prevent diseases. Every publicly traded corporation is legally obliged or obligated to increase shareholder value. So that's a law, and that's their number one goal is to increase their profit. Let's talk about the weight loss industry. It's usually a sub-industry, a subcategory of the food industry and the drug industry, or big pharma. Now, food that is not grown but is manufactured does not help us. We are in a diet culture and it doesn't work and it makes people sick. However, it leads to more profit. Processed food mess up the hypothalamus. So let's go through a short history about the obesity crisis that we are facing nowadays. Up to 1950, obesity was very rare. People were working quite hard by being physical and eating the products of the land or of hunting or of fishing. There were 1% of people were obese, 3 to 6% were a little overweight, and most of these people were the rich ones or the royalty that were eating refined food and not doing much in way of physical activity. Now, since 1950, about 15,000 chemicals have been added to our food. Now we have 80% of people who are overweight and about 50% are obese. Thankfully, in 1950, two discoveries were made by a British physician. His name is Dr. Simeon. We kind of hush it because I'll tell you in another video why. He ended up dying, or he was found dead in his bed once he let go of what he had discovered. So what did he discover? Number one, that all overweight people had a low metabolism. They could not burn food as fuel, and they stored fat. The hypothalamus operated abnormally. They also were constantly hungry and intensely hungry. They were never feeling satisfied or full. And then they had massive food cravings. It was not emotional eating, it was physiological reaction. Yes, there is emotional eating, but what he discovered with that special fat we're going to talk about is it was a physiological reaction. So his second discovery was that there were three types of fat. You have structural fat that is around your joints and your organs. You have just normal fat reserves that are located all over your body. And then there's that special kind of fat, the secure abnormal fat reserves. Women usually have it on their hips, thighs, buttocks, waist, stomach, and behind the upper arms, and men have it on their upper chest, back, neck, waist, and stomach. Let's talk about genetics determine your body shape and your structure. Everybody has a different body shape. That's not going to change. However, your metabolism is not genetic and that can be corrected. So weight loss. You can take Hoodia, ephedra, caffeine, green tea. What it will do is temporarily increase your metabolic rate, will lower your appetite, release water weight, normal fat, and muscle mass. It's not going to go after the abnormal fat reserves. And the same result can be obtained with exercise. You're going to temporarily increase your metabolism, lower your appetite, release water weight, normal fat, and muscle mass. But again, it's not going to go after that abnormal fat. Juicing and fasting is great to release toxins, and I recommend to do that several times a year, especially at the change of season. We all have toxins. Whatever you're living for a great lifestyle, you still will have toxins in your body, and it's a great idea to release these toxins. But to release a secure abnormal fat, you need to reprogram your hypothalamus. So how do we release a secure abnormal fat reserve? And they can only be released on two occasions: when a woman is pregnant or after 90 days of severe food restriction. When you starve yourself for 90 days, finally that abnormal fat will be released. Do you really want to do that? There are other ways. So in my program, we're going to repair and reprogram the hypothalamus. That's that little red dot that you see in the middle of the brain right here. It's your body's master computer. And in my program, we'll talk about food, metabolism, beliefs, cravings, self-esteem, and we're going to add homeopathic support. So stay tuned. It's going to be a 4-week group program starting on January 16. I want to have it a very small group so I can give you individual attention. So stay tuned for more information. It's coming up.